these lacunas or challenge, it is not so that only this government on a fine day work up and realize that we need to improve ties with countries around South China Sea. But where you required the courage or boldness or the firmness of leadership, that was missing in previous governments. Over the last 10 years, one of the important elements that we find in India's foreign policy is the firmness. With full confidence, capabilities have not changed, by the way. Situations have not changed. What has changed is the man at the driving seat. That leads to fundamental changes in other areas. All of a sudden, we have not become a big power or superpower. It is not so. We are not going to become a superpower, let's say, in next 20 years, for that matter. We want to become a Vikshit Bharat, or by all means, by 2047. We hope so, we should become. But forget to 2047, it appears that today we have become a superpower. Although fundamentally and on a materially, on substantive basis, nothing has changed. What has changed? The determination of the leadership.
Thank you, Dr. Jha.
Sir, 2 minutes. Because you said, then I went into my flow, because I thought I have steps. Give me just 2 minutes. And then come to the important aspects of foreign policy of India with regard to its relations with superpowers. And one country that tops the list is the United States. In 2014, when again Modi became the Prime Minister, everyone thought the relation between India and the US became one of the most important critical areas which will see the casualty of Modi becoming the Prime Minister. And what has happened today? Now, one of the countries with which India enjoys the greatest close relations is United States. From a strategic partnership to comprehensive global partnership, there is a paradigm shift so far as India and United States is concerned. But one of the first top leaders whom the Trump administration have invited over the last 100 days is the Prime Minister Modi, and he talks volumes about the capability of this government. Last point O indicates unprecedented work. There is a consistency in Trump's policy towards India, and it speaks volumes about the courage, the confidence, and the determination with which this government is going. Don't forget, some days back, we had extreme terrorist attack. The action that India has taken today, no country, including the United States, has dared to speak a single word against India's decision. Imagine if this decision of stopping water from India to Pakistan would have taken 10 years back, what kind of pressure we would have been under it. We can imagine it. With this words, thank you so much, sir, for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you, Dr. Jha. We are working on the new regime's paradigm shift in our foreign policy and security issues. Now I request Professor Tapan Vishwalaji.
Good afternoon, everybody. I must thank the organizers and the principal of the Sarla College, Dr. Ravinarayan Kar. Give me a chance to speak for you. And I am extremely thankful to my chair and co-panelists talking about India's foreign policy in a changing world order. I'm basically a researcher plus writer. Few days before, maybe few months before, we were talking about disruption around the world. At that point of time, Russia-Ukraine war was there, Gaza bombing was there, the supply chain was disrupted. Russia thought about winning over Ukraine within 2 months of time. Has already taken 2 years, more than 2 years. That is the reality today. And we were also discussing about the disruption that has created in the world. And that disruption has been further precipitated by Donald Trump. I will not say Donald Trump, the disruptive Trump. Disruptive Trump in the sense he has scattered the fundamentals of foreign policy. In his, if you have heard him over TV channels or news channels, you'll see it doesn't talk beyond deals. Deals and deals and deals. Relationships are not based on deals. That should be very clear. And I had come to this conference and I am in the process of revising my book on international relations. I thought I'll be getting a lot many ideas, and I did include it in my second edition. What I'll be talking today, the question of security and India's foreign policy and the disruptive world order. I'll tell you one simple thing. Nobody is secure now because there is no master. Without the teacher, the class room goes bonkers. Once the teacher comes, order prevails. Similarly, when the whole world was looking towards the United States of America for leadership, the leadership itself destabilizing the world order. It talks about that deal. I'll clear up Gaza Strip and I'll make it a Riviera. As if it is his personal land. He proclaimed that Canada would be the 51st state. Who gave him the authority to speak like that? So when the guardian of the family, the guardian of the world order, talks about this way, talks in this way, then he can understand as to where we stand. And the Pahalgam issue has further precipitated the question of security. Had there been no Trump, no disruption in the world order, probably Pahalgam would not have figured that way as it has been happening now. In that context, I'll be speaking to you. Our relationship vis-a-vis other states, India, USA, India, China, India, Russia, India, Europe, India, neighborhood. These are the 4-5 dimensions we have to talk to understand as to where India stands. Let us go one by one. India-US relationship. That is a tectonic shift in India-US relationship from an enemy to a friend. And you can't trust that friend. No country has trusted the United States of America for good part of their existence, other than Japan and others. Because Japan cannot manage without the neutral umbrella of United States of America. And there are few states, say for example, Taiwan. Taiwan cannot defy United States of America, even if they talk rubbish. So things are like that. We'll have to be realist. Now we have become very friendly towards United States of America. We'll have to understand whether we want it or they want us to be there. no differences. Whether I need your friendship or you need my friendship for your benefit. What I perceive that India is in the geopolitical scenario of United States of America. Because India can be bull in the China soil. No other country. Japan doesn't have. No South Asian nations have that capacity to be the bull in the China soil. And we need a friend. Russia is no more a trustable ally. In case of our conflict with China, we can't count on Russia because they're tied to that ideological body. It's a very difficult situation. Now the world order has fallen apart. There are multiple actors. And when there is no leadership in the world order, there were bipolarity. Now, then after the dismantling of the Soviet Union, we had more or less a unipolar world order, where the United States of America used to be the boss. And they used to determine everything. Rightly or wrongly, it was moving. Now everybody wants to stake its claim with Turkey, Erdogan.
Another 2 minutes, Professor.
So in that kind of situation, you'll have to put India in the world map. And by the way, our foreign policy is not Pakistan-centric anymore. Pakistan is a very small state. We can run over. It's not that easy, but still we can run over. And we are talking about nuclear deterrence. And the nuclear deterrence is no more valid. Everybody has nuclear power. Why United States of America is so scared of Iran? Because if Iran becomes nuclear power, then Israel will be at stake. We have no Israel. We cannot count on the friendship of the United States of America as Israel can claim. So we'll have to introspect ourselves to understand where we stand in the world order. From that point of view, you need to focus India's main strength. And we have been posturing peace and peace and peace. At the end of the day, why the war is to establish peace. If peace can be established without war, why not to try? Kautilya had given us that philosophy called Samadhan Danda Bheda. Samadhan Danda Bheda, we are applying all the times with all the nations, all the time. We're trying with Pakistan even today. And we are doing it with all the nations, all our friends. By the way, in the international politics, nobody is your permanent enemy, but nobody is your permanent friend. Like in the politics, nobody is a permanent enemy, or nobody is your permanent friend. So in that scenario, what I find that Pahalgam is a very microscopic issue. Yes, I am very sad. I am worried for the death. And death occurs. I mean, I am not rationalizing death. A maniac goes into the pub and kills 30 people. The killing is not. I mean, it has to be condemned. Every killing is to be condemned, even if a small child in some part of the world, any corner of the world, it has to be condemned. And the state must ensure peace and security to everybody. It's not in Kashmir, it's not to tourists, it is to everybody, Tom, Dick and Harry, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. So what I find in the very volatile situation, there is nothing concrete emerging. Nothing concrete emerging in the sense, when I look at X, I find there is something wanting. Then if I look at Y, also there are problems. And we cannot be friendly with China. We have already burnt our hands twice.
Professor,
We had Hindu Bhai Bhai.
We have to end up from Singapore range on line.
Hindi Chidi Bhai Bhai, where is 1962. We, with lots of fanfare, Xi Jinping came and झूला झूलते रहे साबरमती के किनारे में गलवान वैली घाट. Where to go? Where do we go? And in the history, it is said that the 21st century belongs to Asia. Rightly or wrongly, belongs to Asia. If India, I mean, hypothetically, if India and China somehow come together, nobody can beat us. But there is no ideological symmetry between India and China. Hence, Americans are very clever to know about it. And they spill the beans, and we have taken the beans. And of course, we don't have any other option. And our relationship with United States of America increased substantially after the Galwan episode. Because 1962 war, we fought without socks, the soldiers without having any socks. Now, we do not know as to what is happening there. We need remote sensing information as to what is happening there at that remote part of the country. The only United States of America extended grab. That is not true. They bought their technology, they sold their technology, we bought it. That's it. Let us not be very emotional about it. And the kind of trade disruption that is taking place, that has again taken us back few years. And as my chairman was telling that we have become 3 trillion economy, and we are looking forward to 5 trillion economy very shortly. Now that's also in question.
So we are passing through a phase of disorder, global disorder. We have to listen to.
Nobody can stop us.
Amit Ranjana.
And we are shifting our focuses.
Kindly connect.
We are shifting our focuses from depending economy to a manufacturing economy, which China did. Probably we are replicating China model into ourselves.
Thank you, sir.
At the same time, we are focusing on the area which is very critical in days to come, artificial intelligence, chips and other things. That is what we are doing. Security part, the policymakers are prudent enough or they're knowledgeable enough to take care of us.
We move to the next speaker, Dr. Amit.
As the active member of civil society, as the active member of the civil society, we must be vigilant. That will ensure security and tolerance. Thank you so much.
Dr. Amit Ranjan.
वीडियो ऑन नहीं किया है। बोलिए उनको। हेलो सर। हाँ आ गए। गुड मॉर्निंग अमित सर। हेलो। हाँ बोलिए। Dr. Sir, can you start now? Dr. Amit sir? Can you speak now?
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Go ahead. Hello.
सर आपकी आवाज क्लियर आ रही है?
हाँ. I have to start now.
यस सर।
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So shall I start my presentation?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Thanks, sir, Sitaram sir. I have a good memory from back days, Chamlal College, good friends, Cham Sundar. Then I have heard that Shadhananji was also there. So it's like speaking at home. So very familiar with the college and the college admin, especially the political science department and to some extent history department. So it's like speaking at home. Uh, when Professor Sitaram sir contacted me, he asked me to speak something on water issue. So what I am going to speak is more or less same which I have written today in an article appeared in the Hindu on IWT. But this presentation is a bit different. Not no, not repetition of what I have said there, but it's a bit different. But more or less same. Uh, when we talk about the national security, it's very closely linked with the country's water security also. Because if you look at India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, and other South Asian countries, they are mostly agriculture-based economy. Water is also needed for industries and also people's lives depend on water for comprehensive security of your economy, society, and industry. Most of the countries, especially in the non-Western world and also in the Western world, they rely on big supply side of management. And this is the continuation of the colonial practice, which the British started learn from Egypt, and they started in uh, uh, first in North India and then other parts of India. Uh, we are continuing with that practice, relying more on big supply side of management like dams. Those dams also create problems, especially to those who are the locals and also to the local ecology. Displacement has been reported from almost all big dam projects. Many big dam projects have been opposed. The best example is Kalabagh Dam in Pakistan, which due to massive opposition, the government of Pakistan was forced to shut. And recently, to look at the canal system, where Pakistan they proposed 6 canals, but due to severe opposition, finally they decided to shut down the construction work. So those dams are there. Then there is also an issue of ecology and many of the dams, especially in the Himalaya region, they lie in a seismic zone. If you look at in January when earthquake took place in Tibet, that affected also many water projects which are going on in or which is already established in Tibet region by China. And the the earthquake area which was affected, in which more than 100 people died and many injured, that lies near to the place where China is planning a big dam, that is Medok Dam, to divert the water from upper stream of the Yarlung Yango, which flows from there to Arunachal Pradesh and then come to Assam, where after meeting its tributaries called Brahmaputra. So problems are related, especially when the projects such as damming projects are on the transboundary rivers, where the clash between the two countries take place. If you look at the India position, India has voted Pakistan. Now they have then we have issues with Bangladesh, then of course with China. The in India Pakistan water issue during the days of good days of IWT, the dams on western rivers were one of the main region where of conflict between the two countries, where they accuse each other for stopping or not giving permission for production of hydroelectricity and use of the water. If you look at Indus Water Treaty, in the Indus Water Treaty, India has some rights on western rivers, that is Jhelum, Chenab, Indus. It can store 3.6 MAF water, and it can 1.34 million there can be irrigated. But if you look at how much it has utilization is much below that. Only one India has capability only less than one or at least one MAF of water, and it has 604 6 lakh 442,000 MAF a hectare has been placed into the irrigation area. So those things are under concern. And then the lower riparian, every lower riparian, they have customary right over the water. So water is water from the shared river. So water is not absolute right, absolute falls under absolute sovereign right of the upper riparian only. And that's what India has argued with China while talking about sharing of hydro information and information about the dams. So these are main concerns. Then we have one with Bangladesh. That's very it has varied from one government to other government. When Hasina was there,
Ranjan,
India and
Dr.
Bangladesh
Ranjan,
they signed Ganga.
sir, I'm sorry to
Thank
interrupt.
you, Dr. Ravidaranjanji. Thank you.
Hello.
Sir, thank you so much, sir. We're running out of time. Thank you, sir.
So we have
We're
to
not
wind
able to
up
hear you very well.
quickly.
Why? Am I not audible?
Sir, the voice was breaking.
Okay. Maybe due to connectivity issue.
Sure, sir. Thank you so much for joining, sir. Thank you so much.
Thanks for joining. So now we're just I don't know. We are running short of time. We have to close. Yeah. Yeah.
Shall I stay or leave?
the entire Department of Political Science on a very successful first day of this two-day international conference. And I hope to see you all tomorrow for an engaging day of discussion, debates, and deliberation. We have tea for our guest speakers and faculty outside. Please join us for tea. And I hope to see all the students tomorrow at college. Thank you.